So this game was actually really scary because the Beastman army, once you actually see it in the field, is more than enough to really kick our ass. So we're going to quickly start moving our cavalry and other things like that forward. Let's slow it down here just a little bit. My priority for this game, because I actually had to play it twice before I could eke out a halfway decent victory. The first time we got utterly crushed, but game 2 I think I kind of figured it out. The biggest, scariest things on the field are the Razorgore Herd, and they also got some Razorgore Chariots as well. And that's something that we want to be really afraid of, because there's no real answer to it. I mean, our Eternal Guard have bonus versus large, but it's not enough to beat them, especially with all the chaff and stuff that they have on the field. So I noticed that they would send them forward quickly and just try and like crash into me and use them as sort of a vanguard for the rest of their army. So the plan here will be to use the fear and such on our eagles, who have particularly high melee like stats. They're like good for like dueling, and they have like good weapon damage, and they've also got fear, and I think Arahan and Naestra have terror. So we're going to try and use that to rout off these important things, and then use our fast movers to keep them busy. Also going to be sending our Glade... Well, they're not Glade Knights, they're Great Stag Knights. We're going to be sending them around this way. And we're going to try and swing around the back of the Beastmen, because they do kind of funnel forward. So let's go ahead and keep them at full speed here. We have her just out front. We're going to move our Glade Guard back, try and spread them out, try and like tier them a little bit, so that if they do get disrupted, then they don't all get disrupted at the same time. We're going to open up with the armor-piercing missiles as well, try and do as much damage to those Razorgore herds as we possibly can. We're going to let them crash into her, and we're going to send our Lord in behind them. And that's actually going to do quite a lot to go about routing them off. So a lot of other things hitting us over here as well. So we were kind of forced to use our Forest Eagles and our Eagle Cavalry in tandem together to goon out these Razorgore Chariots. Because if you look at their stat line, it's predominantly tooled towards fighting infantry. They're anti-infantry. They do have like anti-armor and stuff, but against low model counts, they really shouldn't be able to do a whole lot. And that's going to allow our Glade Guard to basically fire freely, and that's what we need to have happen this entire time. So while all that's going on, I'm going to send the Glade Knights. I'm just going to call them Glade Knights because it's honestly way easier. The Glade Knights or the Great Forest Stags, they're going to be coming in from the rear as we open up on that Beastmen front line. They're just basically going to funnel in here with a ton of their infantry and a lot of their Centaurs, which kind of have to sit here in range. So we're going to let our Eternal Guard tank those Centaurs with throwing axes from the front, and we're just going to open up on them with the Glade Guard lineup, because I want to sweep their mobility off the field, because once we do that, we can start to surround their infantry, and then the terror routes and all those other kinds of nasty things can set in. Luckily for us, they weren't aggressive out on the wings with the Sons of Goros to try and zone out our Glade Knights, or whatever the hell they are. I'm just calling them Glade Knights. If you don't like it, you have to deal with it. So they didn't try to goon out our Glade Knights or zone them out or anything like that. They kind of just withdrew the Sons of Goros, and they would have been a big problem for us. So seeing these guys get pushed back, and they don't really like to be within range of our Glade Knights anyway, I'm actually going to send them at this big old blob here that's starting to form in the center, and there's going to be some more Ungor Spearmen and stuff that make it in there, I think, just before we crash into their lines. But we've managed to rout off the Razorgore Chariots without them really doing a whole lot. I mean, they did a number on our Hawk Riders, but with the Great Eagles in tow, it was a fairly simple thing to get rid of them. So we're going to smash into them. Over here, they sent a flanking force of Goreherd, and they're going to be going toe-to-toe with our Spellsinger. She's going to blow some of them up like it's no problem, but she's really just here to keep them busy and to like let this fight kind of play out, because we can't have them getting into the back against our Glade Guard. So she's going to have to not necessarily be sacrificed, like she does make it through the battle, but she's going to take a lot of damage from doing that. Harpies and things like that, we managed to rout them off. There go the Razorgore herds. We're going to pull out our Eagles, and I want to make sure that they make sure that these Razorgore herd do not come back, because if they do, and they smash into our infantry line and they get into our Glade Guard, it's basically all over. We need to be firing the entire time. So, got my Hawk Riders out here as well. They're going to chase down the Razorgore Chariots, I believe, make sure that they stay gone. And then we've still got some reserve units of Eternal Guard here. We've got a blob forming, managed to get the Great Stag Knights into the rear, and they're just chewing up these Ungors. These Eagles now coming down, trying to get a piece of the Razorgore herd. They're just going to keep them nice and busy. But after our our Glade Knights chunk through all of those infantry and start a mass rout here. I can see them coming in with like more spearmen, and I think they start to move forward with the Sons of Goros. Yeah, they're not too far away, but if they get into our Glade Knights, then we're just tooled. We're basically dead. Because they're going to be a big part of our ability to just keep things gone, and also to deal with the infantry once all is said and done. That's basically our ace in the hole here. So we're just going to continue to harass those Centaurs with throwing axes on the back lines. As you can see, there's really no more threats to our right wing here, and so our Glade Guard are basically just able to fire freely into the oncoming Beastmen. So they're just going to move forward under a hail of Glade Guard firepower, and it's pretty painful. They're going to return fire a little bit with the throwing axes, and it will claim the lives of a few of our Eternal Guard, but we'll manage to also extricate our Glade Knights, or Great Stag Knights, or whatever, and they're going to charge over here to the rescue of our Spell Singer. A little bit of a mismicro here, so these guys get too far forward, pull them out as quickly as possible. Sisters of Twilight up there, raining hell down upon these Goreherd, but we're going to eventually turn her attention to this big plot forming over here, because this is where a lot of the critical mass of the Beastmen army is starting to form up. So we're going to take these guys, throw them over here. Goros himself has come to prey upon our poor guard. He's so scary. Look at him. He's got a crazy stat line to boot. I don't know what Drunken does, but like, yeah, he's got good weapon strength. I think he's got bonus versus infantry, bonus versus large there. And this is where our Eternal Guards start to break. Now, our second reserve unit has already been engaged here. Sons of Goros now moving in as well. But if you look in the back, let's go ahead and slow it down just a little bit here. We've managed to keep those Razor Gore Herd and the Chariots gone. So now our Great Forest Eagles are free to come back and lend a little bit of support. So I moved my 2 units of Glade Guard over here so they could put down some enfilading fire into these Beastmen. Sons of Goros in here included. So far we've managed to keep them away from basically everything that they would be good against. They're an anti-large unit, and we haven't let them anywhere near our Eagles, haven't let them near our cavalry, nothing like that. So now the Eternal Guard holding the line, doing what they do best. We're going to go for a bit of a terror route here, with our Eagles attacking from behind. You try to utilize their charge bonus as best as we're able to. Over here, Great Stag Knights have managed to chase off a herd of Ungor Spearmen. There's some Gores with shields chasing them down, so we pulled them out of there. We freed up that entire side. And over here, the Glade Guard are kind of getting thrown under the bus a little bit, and honestly, it was really necessary, because I had nothing else that could hold back this Gore Herd, and nothing else that could keep Goros himself busy. So while all of that's going on, we've charged into their Gore Herd and things like that here. Aranessa and her sister still raining down death and destruction upon these Beastmen here with her anti-infantry shot. And so far things are going pretty well. You can see the balance bars really swung back in our favor. If you look at that there, the Beastmen are just dying like the dogs that they are. Sons of Goros getting routed off, but I don't think they'll be coming back. We're just going to use our archers to basically finish that fight. These Eternal Guard are kind of stuck here through these routing Ungor Spearmen, but now all of our attention has been paid to these troops over here. So these Gore Herd beginning to rout, and that's basically going to be it. But we want to make sure that Goros dies. We cannot let him come back. I wanted to finish this fight with the Beastmen on the next turn. Like, I wanted them to be completely gone, the War Herd just annihilated. So we're going to let the rest of them kind of get off scot-free. We'll try to pursue a little bit with infantry and like some of our Glade Guard and stuff, and we'll fire into the Gores as they retreat. But for the most part, the army is gone. But the really big prize here is Goros himself. It's actually going to take us a while to get a hold of him, because for single entities, especially for single entities, the pathfinding is not super amazing. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward it there. They're going to slowly eat him up, and he's going to get right to the border before we kill him, and that's going to be the end of the game. So I'll see you guys back in the campaign map. Well, damn. That was super, super close. That was definitely not a fight we should have won, and we managed to kill off Goros, although I think we only managed to completely destroy a unit of Ungor Spearmen. But we won! Shockingly, through use of like Fear and Terror, which is honestly something that I'm kind of getting used to, because like, again, I'm a Medieval 2 player, so I'm like, alright, ridiculous odds, let's try and slug it out. And routing seems to work a little bit more like differently, like things are more likely to rout, but they're more likely to come back afterwards.
Accept Ariel's will.
We're gonna replenish for sure.
This is the price you pay.
Well, unfortunately, it doesn't do anything for our heroes.
Harmony must be imposed.
We'll do a lot for our like infantry line there.
Defeating
and now
this
we have a
army
choice,
has
I guess.
benefited the local
Do we
forest
go after him
to help it heal fully. Ensure that the
garrison.
surrounding regions are controlled by you or an ally.
That would be a tougher
Or
fight.
simply raise them.
Or
Hostile borders
the easier
will
thing is-
always cause a...
Quiet you.
The world roots.
Back away.
Carnage.
I think the
Harmony,
smarter choice here,
bloodshed.
like we don't want to take any more risks now that we managed to come out of that on top. I think the smarter
Peace will
choice
come,
is to
conflict
smash
will
Goros
follow.
so we don't have an enemy behind us. Take Vol's Anvil so we have a base of operations, and then try and build up for a bigger, like, climactic showdown, I guess. Let's see here. Decided we'd go into our melee troops, so Missile Strength or Blade Guard, probably the best thing to do. I'm not sure. Maybe the higher tiers and Piercing Thorns are actually decent. It gives it extra weapon strength, so that's not terrible. But our Eternal Guard and our Dryads, particularly the Dryads, because we won't really be fielding a lot of Forest Spirits, I don't think, right now. Unless I should. I don't know. Maybe. Should I? That's not really going to be where our killing power's at. So there's no point to that I can see at the moment. Weapon Strength for Hawk Riders, Great Eagle. Those are pretty nice. War Dancers, that's actually pretty good for them too. Speed for Glade Riders, Wild Riders, Great Stag, and Sisters of the Thorn units. That's something that gives us a bonus right away. It's ready. Reload time reduction, so that's nice. I think that's a... Yeah, I probably want to go whole hog on that for sure, because that's like a big boost to her damage, and it's like AoE damage as well, so that's really good. Don't need to boost her charge bonus. Extra armor could be nice for her. She's not really much of a duelist at the moment. But Bolt of the Forest, extra missile damage for the Glade Guard, that's really good because that's most of our army right now, so that serves sort of like a short-term goal. And because of the restrictions we put on things in terms of like army comps, then, you know, these are units that we'll probably end up using for quite a while. Deepwood Scouts as well. But the speed is nice because the Wild Riders, or rather the Great Stag Knights, are really good as well. I shouldn't be agonizing over this the way I am, but let me put this as well. Ambush success chance. These are kind of nice, but that's only local province, Lord's Army. I didn't like getting ambushed. It wasn't fun. But we probably won't have to worry about that with Goros gone on the next turn. 1%, minus 1% casualty replenishment rate. That's not great. Untainted. That will be nice moving forward once we get to Marathi. I think I said that last episode. Let's see here. Physical resist is nice. Some of these are all good. I don't know what to choose. This is probably the most immediate buff for us for the majority of our army, so I think that's what we'll go for. She has probably a lot of skill points to use as well.
Battle.
Don't need to worry about hinder replenishments. What does this do? This is whenever we cast 10 base weapon damage. Ooh, that's really gonna turn us into like some nasty kind of glass cannon, so that'll be cool. Flock of Doom is really nice for like dealing with lightly armored units, from what I understand. Pan's impenetrable pelt is nice. Ooh, that's really good for the Great Stag Riders, so that'll pair nicely. We've got a lot of like missile damage, so I think maybe the Pans is the way to go. And what does tier 2 for this give us? Let's overcast it. That's cool. Added effect area, 30%. Hold on. Wistland's Wild Form. I've been using this purely for the armor, but I didn't realize that it also boosted your base weapon damage. See, this is good news. And it's also kind of like a leadership bomb, so I kind of like it. Although, we could do this instead. Be nice for crowd control. We've got a lot of things that are good for like blobbing up around, so this might be a better choice for now. I've still got that extra point, so I could go like whole hog on that. No, I need Wild Heart. That's for sure, because that buffs the whole army. Cool.
When
So
do we
let's
fight?
finish
Only
these
when
lads off.
necessary.
That should
It
be
will
pretty
be a
easy.
glorious battle.
We'll auto
The
resolve it.
seasons smile
should've.
upon
That was
us.
kinda silly.
Accept Ariel's will.
But we'll replenish our units
Onward,
again.
together. Order is
Extra
all.
skill points. Glittering scales. Oh, that's kind of nice. So what does that do? -5 melee attack. I think that that's actually perfect for her.
The unbridled glory
That's
of
really
battle.
good. Enchanted items. Nope, that goes to our lord, so that's just fine. Hawk companion. We got a lot of those. She doesn't really have any ranged abilities, but reinforcement range, extra reinforcement range is always nice. That'll be cool once we eventually get to the point where we can recruit extra stuff.
Inseparable.
Now, more for her.
Invincible.
Another 2. That's really cool. Passive ability +10. That's really nice for making her a bit slippery. The Curse of Anrahir. 30 accurate. Oh, minus speed. That's really nice. Summons a Great Eagle unit. Oh, I really like that. That's like reinforcements on command. I think we should go for that. It's a decent amount of Winds of Magic, but that's okay because SFO gives us extra Winds of Magic anyway. Another 2 points here. Hey.
Smile upon us.
Okay, reload time reduction. We could double down on that, and that'd be really nice for them. But we won't put all of our eggs into one basket, I don't think. Extra health for her. I like to kind of balance it between like a buff for the army or a buff along the blue tree. And something for our lord. Wonders of the Forest. I think we're going to do Wonders of the Forest this time, though. Maybe we shouldn't. So, got pretty low melee defense. Swift and lethal. That's a crazy charge bonus she has. We should look into cycle charging her more in battles, because that's huge. And that's probably a big thing that I'm like missing in my playstyle so far. So I think once we do this, we'll start focusing on the blue tree, and then we're going to move towards lightning strike, because that's a really important campaign thing. Especially, I think, in SFO, because like our upkeep is so high, right?
How I enjoy
so we're going to have
that.
like less armies, but the AI naturally gets AI cheats, so we'll be fighting outnumbered basically all the time, and that's a really good equalizer.
Night and day.
So let's save that, just in case we have some shenanigans like what happened last time.
Finally a fight.
Let's attack Vol's Anvil. Now, I
This
don't want
is
to
the
auto-resolve
life.
this, because we might lose our caster if we did that, and I think that would be a really pointless way to do it. So we will fight it out. I'll see you guys on the battlefield. Oh, it's very moody, isn't it? Okay. Alright, well, I don't need more Winds of Magic. Wow, that's actually quite hard to see through. That's interesting. It's very interesting. So, what I think we'll do is we'll do our usual thing, because we don't have a whole lot of infantry power. We'll take these Glade Guard. We'll stick our Eagles in the middle, sort of like bait people into things. So the Glade Guard can hold the wings. The Eagles are like they're obviously low entity, and I think that would be a nice like kind of tar pit for providing opportunities for our archers. So we're gonna spread our archer line out pretty generously here. Try and keep them out of the trees if we can, because oddly enough, the Wood Elves don't seem to do well when firing from the canopy. I think there was some changes recently, and there's like a 3-second or something grace period for like firing through trees. But even so, it's obviously not super efficient to do that. So there's some hidden terrain here. Stick them in group 2. You, we need to keep protected, so you're just gonna hide back here and just kind of hang out. That's your job.
Spell Singer.
And you will do that well, I'm sure. So this will be fun to test out some of her new abilities. So we didn't have them in the last game we played against the Beastmen, but we do get this really nice Twilight Horn here, which is kind of akin to, I wanted to call him Assyrian. What's his name? Orion? Yes, Orion's Horn of the Wild Hunt, which has like double the effect. But it'll still synergize really nicely with our Great Stags, and with Aranessa, I want to call it Aranessa, Arahan, and Naestra themselves. Alright, I think that'll do. So let's start the battle here. Ooh, it's so far. Let's move through forward. I think I want to shoot them. You... Let's go up. Shoot them off. This would be a great chance for us to like... Ooh, yeah, look at that. Blammed!
Awaiting orders.
I don't want to stay within range for too long. But we do want them to like stop and shoot at these guys, so we're gonna like cycle them in and out. Just like let the dark shards get within range, so they stop and blob up a bit. We might even be able to win this game with like just 3 units.
We stand ready.
Okay, we're almost within range, so they're gonna stop and fire pretty shortly.
Swiftly. Hurry.
Maybe they won't stop and fire. I don't know. Ideally, they would.
Battle ready.
Let's take a look at the armor of these guys. 65, 50. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know if Flock of Doom would be really good against them. I'm not really sure what the threshold is on it. Like, I know it's better against lightly armored units, but like,
Without delay.
I don't know exactly where that bonus starts to become important or not relative to the armor levels. So if you guys know, please tell me, and then I can like plan very well around that sort of thing. Okay, I think this is perfect. So we're gonna hit them. I think this is map wide. Nope. It's only for herself. So now is a great time to hit them, because all their spears are located here. Punishing the spears. Beautiful charge there. Really hit them hard, so we're going to cycle them out again. Let's hit those sword infantry as well.
Naestra and
Let's invade here a little bit.
We grow restless.
Finish them.
With haste.
As hard hitting as I would have thought, but so far so good.
At once. Orders received. Charge.
One more, and then now those dark shards are going to be able to open up. We might even be able to carry on like right into dark shards. Oh yeah.
Swiftly. Go.
Let's pull out of there what we can. Bring her forward, keep pressuring these things. Now they're basically turned around and like totally focused on these guys. So let's get them back into the forest here. And we made them kind of like stop and blob up a little.
Ready to ride.
Okay, they're gonna follow us out of the forest. So let's hit them on the wing here. You're gonna see it, but it's not really too much. Got a second line there though. So we routed their general, so that's something. So back into the woods.
Dawn and dusk.
Your command.
I have an idea. I think we might be able to just like route these guys completely. Also give her an opportunity to use her like charge bonus. You guys, they're not even gonna make it to our front line, so you can shoot them instead, so that she remains safe.
War is
Nice charge there. That should be enough to finish off those bleak souls after the finish. So they'll probably end up routing here. And then they're fine. We can just leave them.
Armed and ready. Ride. Sons
I
of
think we might have like a bloodless victory on our hands, basically. Yeah, we basically defeated them with just 3 units. That was pretty impressive. I mean, not that it was particularly hard, it's just an impressive performance from those units.
Guardians of Lauren!
Toot my own horn, not too much anymore.
Taste my bone!
That'll do for them. Forgot to hit her horn, I think. Oh, I thought I did. That's alright.
wild ride.
I'm gonna let some of these guys clean them up and get some extra experience, and I'll see you guys back in the campaign now. Yeah, so that was actually a bloodless victory. I don't get too many of those because I'm not super good at Warhammer, but yeah, definitely satisfying. Looks like they actually made it to our Eternal Guard. I don't think they did. Maybe they did. But they probably just got assigned some kills after the battle, because I know she didn't hit anything, so that's probably what happened. But yeah, good amount of kills there on all those units. The Great Stags are growing up so fast. 2 silver chevrons.
Eradicate
What
them.
do we want to do here? I think we
Root
actually want
and
to take this.
branch.
Yeah, 'cause we need
Attack?
a base
Absolutely.
on this, so let's do
Itching for fresh battle.
repair that. I think what it needs probably needs some replenishment. So let's see if any of these give us that. Casualty replenishment range. So advanced patrols, that's kind of nice, and it'll give a bunch of infantry to the existing garrison, which is nothing. It's literally nothing. Okay. So Deepwood Scouts and Glade Guard. All these are kind of one-dimensional. That one's not bad, but it doesn't give us what we need. It will improve our upkeep, which is nice. What's this gonna do eventually? Oh, okay. Oh, these don't give garrisons at all, do they? Oh, alright. I thought maybe once it was repaired it would give us a basic garrison, and then we could make a better choice on the next turn, but... I guess... Sisters of the Thorn, that's pretty nice. -5. It's 10 for recruitment costs. And campaign movement range. I think this is probably the best for what we want to use this province for, so we'll do that.
Craving
They've leveled
prey.
up again, which is great. That's another point for her, and I said we'd go... What do you want to do here? Earthing. So she's going to be casting a lot more with what we've given her. So she probably needs earthing, I think, more than anything. No walls. Enemy siege holdout time, -2. Possessed by the Trickster God. Ooh. Oh, we get some cool stuff here. Okay. I'm always really excited to play, like, new SFO updates because, like, they are super, super thorough and, like, very gameplay focused, I've found. But also, like, interested in, like, keeping things close to the lore, which, like, when it comes to Silmarillion, I'm on the same boat. So, like, to see other people out there with, like, the same focus is really cool. And it's always really exciting to see, like, what they add and, like, the way their ideas evolve over time. So I just get giddy when I see, like, new stuff unlocked up here. That's an augment. Oh, that's for everyone. Oh, that's really good. Oh, but we need to go into the blue tree early. So we'll wait on that for now, and we'll go into Wonders of the Forest. That'll help us, I think, like, with money and raiding as we kill more stuff here.
This will fail.
No.
They, I don't think, can move anymore this turn.
My visions predict failure.
How's the Witchwood doing? They've got a decent garrison, so anyone that tries to attack them probably not gonna attack it. Let's start a trade agreement with Hatep, because I don't want them attacking us. That would be really ugly. We can't afford a two-front war with one army. It's just not
Twilight
doable.
Twins.
Can we recruit any regiments? Nope, we're good for now. Oh, but that would cost me extra money. Is it worth it? I think it's worth it. It gets us a step on, like, because it's gonna take us a couple turns to get extra reinforcements anyway. So I think this is really our only option right now. So it is expensive, and we will do that in a limited way, but I'm sure it will be less of a problem as we move on and our finances become ridiculous, and we don't have to worry about those sort of mundane pedestrian concerns of running out of money. But prosperity, stability. I love that. Thank you. Chaos, corruption. Okay, so we're gonna have to start investing into our salve, because I think we're not crazy far from where Marathi is. She's either down here or up here. I think she's down here, though. That makes more sense.
Inseparable. Invincible.
So we're going to need one more turn of replenishment anyhow before we move on to Hag Hall. But I would like to get a hero if possible. No, we can't do that, so we'll have to work on that later. Unless I can get one from here, which I can't. Okay. It would be nice to get something with the Prey of Anathrema, because that would have come really in handy. Forge of Daith active. Oops, what'd I just do? That's really cool. Reforged. I think this is something that we have already, and that only lasts for 5 turns, so I'm not super worried about that. Let's do that. I think this is armor that we already have. Wish I could check, though, so I could be doubly sure, but...
Home to
perfection. That's really cool.
Daith wastes his talents on a pacifist. Itching for fresh battle.
Fine Dreaming Boots. Great. So extra 5% speed. God, she's fast. Holy crap. 132 speed. I've never seen speed get that high before. She's got a good loadout here too. I'm pretty pleased with how that hero is coming along.
Duty.
Adventure.
I think we're going to pass one more turn here, and then we're going to try and take Hag Hall and kind of put this war with the Dark Elves, at least in this area, to bed, and then I think Venom Blade is our next step. So yeah, we'll pass there, and then next turn we'll do a little bit of like diplomacy and stuff, and try and make more of the Wood Elves like us. Maybe we should upgrade the World Tree too. I've kind of neglected that. I kind of forgot that that was a thing entirely, actually. Summer! Yay! I love summer.
Twin defenders of the glades.
Awaiting bloodshed.
Okay, so she's in there. They've got a sorceress, which is
When do we fight? Only
kind of
when
scary.
necessary.
But we've got a better looking army here. Let's just double check though, because I want to make sure
Goddess forbids it.
they haven't increased the strength of the garrison. So they've got a lot of spears, some dark shards, which we can deal
Why
with.
do we waste time?
We've got that
Why do
cav in
you
there
waste
too, so they
energy?
still have a good amount of cav, so that's something we need to be aware of. But really good speed on them. I
Harmony
think
of
we do okay. I think our cav will probably
Thrill
trade
of
really
the
nicely with a lot
hunt.
of theirs anyway.
Open them up!
Mostly infantry-based stuff. So yeah, that's a lot of cavalry and that's a lot of Dark Elves. But you know what? Their infantry force isn't that bad,
Harmony
and I think
shall
that's something
reign.
that we could probably deal with that. It's a lot of spears and things that our archers and stuff can prey on. We just have to be very careful with the cavalry, but she's got that unit of eagles, so we can double our eagle count. We've got our own cav, which is really nice, and a lot of options with her. She can like prey on their infantry and like deal with, maybe we can even goon out her because she's super squish.
Battle.
Let's do
A
that. We're gonna
regrettable
continue the siege.
necessity.
We'll see what the AI
What is
wants
this
to do.
foolishness?
In the meanwhile,
Trouble.
they don't want anything to do with us right now. But let's go see our Wood Elf brothers. Maybe they want to be good friends.
You have been
I would
granted
like that.
safe passage. For now.
Okay, so we're still increasing with them. They're a little slow to trust.
I welcome you
Alright.
to the King's
He kind
Glade.
of likes us.
Sit.
He doesn't want anything else to do with us right now.
This is
Love
Athelloren,
Death.
home of the
Wanna
Oak of
go from that?
Ages, of
I
course.
love it. And then that's going to add some more relations, I think, to the other Wood Elves, which is nice, because it kind of like snowballs, right? Anything I can do with you for the time being? I have insufficient funds in order to order this, and I probably don't have the amber anyway. Well, I don't think we need amber. We have tax rate is good for now. Our research is almost done, so next turn we're going to have extra campaign line of sight and some more public order, which is good. I don't think our public order is terrible for the time being, but... yeah, so that's all of the Wood Elves over there. Let's see what they do. See what the Dark Elves of Hag Hall have in store for us in the next turn. If they want to sit there and get sieged out, I don't like endlessly sitting there with sieges, but like they have the ability to beat us. Okay, so they are gonna fight us here. That's a lot of cav and a fair amount of infantry.
This is the life.
I think we should fight that manually because we
It
could
will be a
auto resolve it,
glorious
but like
battle.
this will be a cool fight, and I think we should do this manually. So I'll see you guys on the battlefield. So this was definitely one of the sloppier games I think that we played here. So they're going to come out of the woodlands here almost immediately. They're going to vanguard with all of that cav. They got 5 cav in this army, and they're going to swing 3 of them this way. So we do have some tools to deal with that now that we have transformation of Kadon and things like that. So I'm going to take my eagles over here as well, use them to try and shut these guys down as best as we're able to. Got the Hawk Riders there shooting at them. Got some Glade Guard here who are basically bait to draw these guys into the pocket. And then I got my Sisters of Twilight here as well, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be shooting at these guys the whole time as well. I'm starting to do a number there. Yeah, I've got the anti-large shot coming out. It's going to miss there, unfortunately. But, yeah, over time that will do a decent amount of damage. Got some Eternal Guard nearby as well, so they will be able to support the Glade Guard. It's pretty easy for them to run back there. And then we've got our Glade Knights, or Stag Knights, or whatever. I'm just going to call them whenever it comes to mind. They're going to be hanging out here in this little pocket of forest, and they're going to be hidden for the time being. Bringing in those Forest Eagles. And obviously the plan here is, because of the way we position ourselves, kind of over to the left of where their reinforcements will be coming in. I just want to deal with these guys first, or at least crush the majority of these forces before their friends can get here. So I can't remember who we shot that volley of Kernus at. I think it's probably these guys, because they're a big threat, especially in close quarters. So we're going to blow them to teensy bits. Nice enfilade there. I think basically all of those are going to hit. And a lot of those Corsairs are going to get just instantly jibbed from that volley of Kernus. But decent amount of damage. Took out maybe a fifth of their health there with one shot, which is not bad, especially since health is quite high in this. Over here we've managed to grab the Dark Rider's attention, and we've collapsed on them with our Legendary Lord. We've got the Great Eagles in there as well. We've also got some Eternal Guard nearby for support, who are getting pulled into this fight as well. And all the while this is happening, we're giving our Glade Guard the solution that they need to just fire into the rear of these units. So no shield block chance for them at all. We're just going to hammer these Dark Riders, and it's going to be a really ugly situation for these poor Dark Elves. Don't feel too bad for them, though. Yeah, we're going to take down most of them there. Aranessa and Naestra, or Arahan and Naestra, still popping off their anti-large shots. Got the Twilight Horn there as well. These Dark Riders standing up pretty well. I know we've got some Red Spears and things like that coming in, but we're going to go right up the center with our Great Stag Knights. That's a brutal charge. It's going to carry through the Corsairs and over into the Handbows as well. The Handbows were our main target, but we will end up getting caught here on these guys a little bit. So our Legendary Lord kind of training her attention on the Supreme Sorceress, trying to deal with her if we can. The second company, or the second group of cavalry, only 2 of them this time. Over here getting picked apart by our archers. We kind of move forward here with our left wing, being really aggressive. And just keeping them busy, because we did summon our transformation of Kadon Eagles, and now we're going to try and basically just catch these guys between our Eagles and our Great Stag Knights. These Dark Riders are basically gone. I don't think we're going to see them come back again. We managed to rout off the Black Ark Corsairs, which is important, but the Corsairs with Handbows are still here, and they can be a bit of a problem for our lightly armored Great Stag Knights. So we're going to have to find some way to deal with them. Over here, some of their caps started to come back, but for the most part, we've managed to deal with them. My Great Eagles are here, making sure these Dark Riders with shields stay gone. They're going to collapse it down upon them. Hopefully get a few hits off there. These guys will briefly rally, and then they'll get shot to death. I think this is where they're basically gone for good, because our Eagles are going to continue to harry them all the way to that white line. Over here, more shots coming in from our Legendary Lord, trying to deal with these Black Ark Corsairs with Handbows. I'm going to just throw the transformation of Kadon in there, because why not? She being the sorceress is going to cast Cascading Fire Cloak on them, which is going to give them lots of melee defense. But that's not going to matter, because Aranessa is just going to continue to chunk away at them. They managed to get some Dread Spears into our transformation of Kadon Eagle, and along with their Lord, they will manage to rout them off. Let's see here. Yeah, now we start to really push forward with our left wing. I think I called them our right wing before. That's my bad. But this is around the time that the Dark Elf reinforcements start to arrive. So I've got my Hawk Riders in the back here, and I kind of lose micro on them for the majority of this, because I'm trying to like shift my lines back into position, make sure everybody is where they need to be. So I'm going to pop another transformation of Kadon there. Some more Great Eagles going to come out. We're going to have Aranessa out front. These Great Forest Eagles are going to move forward with the transformation of Kadon Eagles. And my plan here was to try and catch the Sorceress before the rest of these Dark Elves could get here. But they end up getting here a little bit more quickly than is planned. So we're going to get our charge bonus off. And then we're going to start to extricate our Eagles from that position, because we don't want them to get caught on all these Dread Spears and like bogged down in engagements with infantry. Over here, some more Dark Riders. I immediately pull my Eagles back here to try and do the same thing we've done to them so far. But I left my Glade Guard out for a little bit too long, and these Eternal Guard are in a good spot to at least kind of clip the side of this unit. But these Dark Riders will manage to charge home. We're going to get the charge bonus off, and the infantry is really going to hurt my poor Dark Rider, or my poor Glade Guard. But with the Eternal Guard in support, things are going to be okay. That Firebolt was shot at our Legendary Lord. We managed to dodge it, and the Great Eagles from the transformation of Dawn are going to take that on the chin instead. Over here, these Dread Spears are going to move forward and they're going to feel the full wrath of the Azrai skirmish line, and they're basically just going to melt under that pressure. More anti-infantry over here as the Black Ark Corsairs try to come back, but we saw a good opportunity to hit them and the Black Ark hand bows at the same time. And they're still basically our target here. So these Black Ark bows are gone forever. Supreme Sorceress, basically gone, or she's kind of on the cusp. We're going to use the Great Eagles from the transformation to create a blob here, and then we're just going to punish that with our entire skirmish line. And some anti-infantry fire there from our Legendary Lord as well. We ran off that cavalry, and now the rest of our eagles and such are free. These Dark Shards are going to trade really nicely with our Hawk Rider, so we're going to try and move back and avoid some of that, but we will take the damage. But this is kind of the decisive point in the battle. So this is where we take our Glade Riders, or our Great Stag Knights. We're going to give them that nice charge bonus, and we're going to go after the Dark Elf backlines. So we're going to throw our Forest Eagles at them. We're going to take our Hawk Rider Cav as well. We're going to hit that retreating unit of Dark Shards a little bit farther up on the hill. This really sucked. They got stuck on the Black Ark Corsairs who were shattered, and so I think we end up losing a lot of that Twilight Horn buff. But I do see it quick enough. I think we might be able to get in there and still enjoy the bonus. And indeed we do. And so those Dark Shards are just going to get slaughtered here. And the rest of the Dark Elf Infantry, kind of realizing what is happening, they're going to try and move up the hill. So as they do that, we're going to continuously move our skirmish line forward so that we can just keep pressuring them, basically, and try and get them to turn around if we can. Or at least get singular units to turn around. And now we're starting to focus our attention on their Lord, because we want this to just end. So she's just hanging out here getting absolutely pin-cushioned, trying to move forward, Last Samurai style, but there's just too much damage coming in. And she's got like 10 orbiters, like she's basically naked. And Aranessa was going to come down and maybe rear charge her, but there's a lot of heat. So I'm going to take the Spellsinger forward, just use her to keep these guys busy. And yeah, she's doing great. She casted a Block of Doom on them earlier, and she's going to be a problem there. Meanwhile, in the back, the Eagles and the Great Stags, just making sure everybody stays on. And now their Dark Shards are basically off the field, and that's going to be all we hear from them. Down goes their Lord. And the Sisters of Twilight are just gonna, it's just a shooting gallery at this point. They've got no support units, they've got no Lord, they've got no cavalry. This battle is basically over. So these big swords here are gonna get routed. Some Dread Spears are gonna move forward, and I'm gonna use my Eternal Guard. It's just one big blob to surround and demoralize those Dread Spears. And then we're just basically picking apart the rest of these units. So we've got Bleak Swords here, about to get charged in the face. The Dread Spears there are gonna take it hard from the Sisters from behind. All that cav is just going to converge on this couple of units. And that's game over. Basically, this is where the shattering starts, and then we're going to start to run stuff down. But I will spare you the details there, and I will see you guys in just a few moments back on the campaign map. So that wasn't the worst. I was a little bit sloppy, lost micro a few times on stuff. But overall, yeah, pretty impressed with them. Pretty impressed with the Wood Elf army so far, and especially the Sisters. Like, they just do so much damage. They just truck through people, especially once you're able to give them all these extra like modifiers and stuff.
Harmony must be imposed.
Damage that time, so it's not
An
necessary
arrow
to do
in the
this.
head.
I think this might be better for the upcoming turns. Probably.
Battle. A regrettable...
A threat to the forest has appeared nearby. Aggressions against the forest are not uncommon, but some threats are more pressing than others. This particular attack is imminent. Send an army to disrupt these aggressors before they reach full strength.
Interesting. The Fortress Lit may assist every 2 turns. It's now active. Technology research, that's good. Well, I want to investigate this, because that's not
We
that
fight
new.
for the forest.
Open them up!
we should
It will be a glorious battle.
Take this? Yes.
Make these fools cower.
Heathland. That'll give us extra movement for a turn, because we wouldn't have been able to go and address this immediately anyway. So that'll give us some replenishments. We'll be a bit better off. I don't think I have 2 turns to wait. We'll see what that's all about in a second.
The Sisters of
She
Twilight.
gets more. skill points and such. Magical reserves. That would be nice to have. We should have a point in there too. We should probably spend that on a new spell. This will actually be really helpful for her though. It does. I don't understand why it would bring her leadership down. Maybe that's just so you don't have Cav that can infinitely cycle charge. That's a huge speed boost though. I'll help her be where she needs to be. So I will do that. No, wait, hold on. Eventually we'll want to get her a Great Eagle. She's at 8 now. This becomes available in 2 turns. What's the difference? Higher weapon strength, the same kind of debuffs, but we don't have to... Maybe a unicorn is better. A Great Eagle obviously synergizes better, but I really never want her to be in melee. Anyway, and we'll lose our magical attacks, which could be useful in certain situations. So I think we'll wait for the unicorn. And instead... what can we do? What do we need? Upgrade it. Only gives an effect area. That's really nice. Especially if we're ever forced into like a slug it out melee like we were with the Beastmen. That's been quite nice so far, but we do need to go into the blue tree. We need Untainted, because this is kind of a chaos-heavy area.
So bored.
So impatient.
Probably build something that also gives us Untainted. +3, and then we'll apply to the whole province. And a lot of public order as well, which we're going to need. Because, yeah, look at that public order.
Serene Naestra.
Tempestuous
New
Arahan.
technologies we can look into. That's really nice. Provides line of sight over all magical forest regions. That's kind of cool. What does Fall the Maker do? +8 armor for elf infantry. 1 forest health for winning battles in magical forests or their heathlands. +4 defense for non-elf units and characters, so that probably applies to our Great Eagles as well. Wisdom of the Eagle Lords, physical, that's really nice. It's hard. +1 forest health. I don't really understand entirely how that mechanic works yet. But I'm sure it's important because it's really prominent on all of the major settlements. Like, it's obviously useful. But we're going to be... probably won't be fighting a lot of defensive battles for the time being. So maybe Wisdom of the Eagle Lords, we can get that in 1 turn. It's going to drain our resources, but that's alright. So we're going to get a tick anyway, so we'll go back up to 2,000. So that's pretty good, I think.
Inseparable.
Invincible.
Yep. Said that past there. This episode's seemingly quite a lot longer than our last one, but that's because we fought, like, more actual battles. And I have a little bit more time today to actually record things, so that's why. There'll be of varying lengths. So far, that's obviously been the case, but that's going to continue based on, you know, how much time I actually have during the day. That's really cool. So it's like an instant buff for our Great Eagles, which is nice, because we'll be getting lots of those through her. Now, these are all gonna... I think this one's nice.
Order is all.
Untainted, 94, imminent forest invasion.
Twin defenders of the glades.
It's ambush versus the Skaven, and they've got a lot of like doom flayers, and they've got the brood horrors, who mercifully have very low leadership, so we can potentially rout them. A mutant rat ogre. Ooh, that'll be scary. Let's see what they have in terms of missile units. So the weapons teams will be something to deal with. And they're going to have probably the menace below as well. He's got a ward save. He's got magic attacks. Armor piercing melee, death blow. What does that do? Toxic Venom. Oof. That's really painful if they get on top of our eagles and stuff. That'll just let them damage the whole unit, so we might need to keep them away from them. The eagles will probably be best served trying to goon these guys out. Best defense. That's only if they're winning, so we can't let them win. They got regen too, so we might gotta make sure they stay gone. Yeah, some of these are pretty scary. So you know that was created by Clan Molder, Packmasters, and Thrall the Unclean can push it to its full combat potential and restore it in battle. These I don't think are Clan Molder. Unless they are, which is why they have Brood Horrors. I don't know. I don't really know how the new Skaven DLCs work. We got here. Regeneration. Yeah, that's scary. Well, I think we're going to have to save this one for the next episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. It's been pretty off the wall. Like, very, very intense, big battles almost every turn kind of thing. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it so far. And hopefully you'll join me for next time. Take care, everybody. Bye now.